So, the summer update is just around the corner. It's the calm before the storm, you could say. We have no idea what's to come, and yet we also have no idea what isn't going to. The workshop has been filled to bursting with some of the most creative submissions I've ever seen, and the countless bug fixes, patches, and other contributions are enough to fill 3 update pages. And while we wait to see what this new update will hold, I can't help but be reminded of the past when I think about this upcoming update. And you know why? Well, think about it. The unnamed, unthemed summer update that promises new content, workshop submissions, with explicit feedback from Valve hyping it up. Doesn't that sound a little familiar? It was only 10 years ago when a very similar set of circumstances occurred. The summer of 2013, with a massive, unnamed, unthemed, but still summer update that pushed out maps, cosmetics, bug fixes, and superstar selected workshop items, all backed with tight and concise paragraphs from Valve detailing their thoughts. It's the summer 2013 event update all over again! So let's take a trip down memory lane as I remind you just what this massive update brought that doesn't even have its own update page. You ever seen this outfit? What about this one? Or that one? Or what about these killer duds? That's right, all introduced in the summer update of 2013. Staples of the game that players everywhere still use today. Remember all those crazy medic miscs that had German names and lengthy descriptions? That was this update. The Macho Man? This update. The Blood Banker? The Virtual Viewfinder? The Gray Bands? For God's sakes, this was the update that added Gabe Newell to the game! It's kinda serious. Remember when crates came in multiple flavors? The summer coolers and the summer claim check originated here, and they're filled and chilled with the hand-picked best of the best workshop items of 2013. This was the update that also removed set bonuses that unironically made you better at the game. In case you didn't know, here's a little history lesson for you. If you had the complete Milkman set for Scout, you just straight up had an extra 25% health with no downsides, just for equipping the item! It was literally pay to win! The Croco style set for Sniper, it made you immune to headshots! The Tank Buster made you take 25% less damage from sentries! The Pyro set made you 10% faster! I could go on! This update took all that shit out and instead added taunt effects for Spy and calling card gravestones on enemies you killed. I'm glad they got rid of these, but seriously, what were they thinking even adding them in the first place? Boy, sure hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
This was such a great buff to the winger. Imagine if on a ×10 server, you could jump heaps higher.
Do you like CP process? I would imagine so, considering you competitive players practically live there.
Why? Why wouldn't you chase the medic? Are you fucking retarded?
Well, you can thank the Summer Event 2013 for officially adding it into the game. We also got CP Stand-In, but did you even remember this map exists? You probably haven't even thought about it until I just reminded you. Not even on its 10th birthday? You should feel ashamed of yourselves. All I ever remember about CP Stand-In is that one time I found a bombing run and some guy convinced me to give it to him in exchange for a rocket jumper. I still have it too. As for weapons though, well, a lot of the changes introduced into this update are still seen into the game to this day. Like the Power Jack giving you a damage vulnerability, that was this update. The Liberty Launcher got its first of many nerfs here, and the original got its explosion sound we all know and love. There's so many changes that it would take a little too long to go into them all, but I'll leave a link to the wiki page in the description in case you want to do your history homework. But hey, 2 new maps isn't all that we got, because we got tweaks to existing maps as well. Badwater, for example, well, you used to be capable of doing this, and this, and this! Even though, really, this still kind of happens. But hey, did you know that the battalion's backup used to get its buff by taking damage instead of dealing damage? Why the fuck was that ever anything that existed? The Dead Ringer also got its first of many nerfs here. Hope you spies liked it while it lasted. And I know I just started talking about changes to maps and then right back to talking to changes about weapons, but that's because of all of this. Would take way too long to read. And while some of you may be a little upset that I'm not talking about every single detail, would you really have paid attention if I did? Would have just bloated the video anyway. 60 new hats and miscs, 2 brand new maps, a bucket load of map rebalances and fixes, dozens and dozens of weapon tweaks. This unnamed, unthemed update really had it all. You know, I spend a lot of time going back and reading the old TF blog posts, not just to lament the death of basic communication, but to look back on a time that, while for the most part I was there to experience, I didn't appreciate enough. I didn't know how good I and many others really had it. It's fun to relive a past when Valve gave a shit and seemed genuinely passionate about this game and its community. However, it's not all doom and gloom, because just on the 10-year anniversary of the summer event, another unnamed, unthemed update is on the horizon and could be releasing any day now. So next time you boot up TF2 and get told to check out the blog, you just might want to, because there just might be something worth reading there.
I'm going to be speaking fast because there's been a lot of updates and I want to get it out in a short video. So the first thing they've done is fixed all the previous bugs that they found.
I'll be discussing purely the items. They did not add any new items in the game, they just nerfed and buffed the items, which I personally
talking about all the maps, of course, a lot of maps have been fixed, a lot of exploits. I would definitely recommend going through them. I think that the highest amount of fixes are either coming from Badwater or
yeah, so for this commentary I wanted to discuss the latest changes to Team Fortress 2. People are probably like, oh my god, dude, don't copy like Yar and Germa and everyone. They already did that. I'd like to discuss
Valve has
it
now done a color scheme with all of their crates. I now have a color scheme for all of their crates. Like I just got a black, aqua, and yellow.